Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to a new video. It's been a minute, I know. I have just been taking a break from YouTube, so let's chat about it while I get ready today. I have to film a few things. So I'm putting on some makeup and I'm gonna show you guys what I use. This has kind of been my signature look for this whole summer basically, so I thought I would show you my process while we chat about life and life updates and all of the things. I'm really excited to get into this video. I missed you guys so much. I feel like I've been so far removed from YouTube, social media in general, but YouTube specifically, and for good reason. I will tell you guys all the updates, all the tea as we get ready today. So welcome back to my channel and let's get into it. The elephant in the room, I have not been on YouTube in over a month. I've just been going through it, you guys. Not just me, but Sean as well. We just had a few things going on and I just really decided that it was time to take a break from not just YouTube, but all of social media. Now was the time as we transition from summer into fall. We start slowing down in fall, but for me, actually, that's when my job kind of starts picking up more, especially in fashion. As the seasons change, that's when the fashion girls come out to play. I'm drinking my electrolytes. These are from Waterboy. I kind of like them. So as I get ready, I'm just gonna go through. I have a whole list of things that I want to talk about. I've just been making this list over the past month and things I just want to mention and we can yap about while I get ready. So I'm really excited to yap with you guys. I really have missed the YouTube community and just my girls over here. Y'all know the real me. You know what I'm saying? I feel like on different platforms you can put on a front and it's really easy to do that. On YouTube, it's kind of hard to hide who the real person is because it's such a long form of content and it's hard to hold a character for that long. The girls over here get the vibe. We are more authentic over here, more our true selves. I can yap freely and it's not weird to do so. I can upload like an hour-long video and people don't think it's crazy. Over here, we like to slow down a little bit. Okay, enough of the intro. Let's get into the real meat of this video. And first I'm going to start out with foundation. Actually, I don't really wear foundation, you guys. That is not my vibe anymore. So I really like to go in with a tinted, glowy kind of formula. I'm obsessed with the e.l.f. Halo Glow liquid filter. This is not even a foundation. It just kind of evens out your skin tone and adds, it's kind of like a liquid highlighter in a way, but not glittery. It just adds a sheen and I really like that. So anyway, so I'm gonna go in with this. This is the shade 4 and this is my tan shade, so it's gonna look like I'm putting peanut butter on my face, but it blends out, I promise. Now, let's get into why I took a break from not only YouTube, but social media. So in my line of work as a content creator, not only a content creator, but I also work adjacent to content creators and have for the past, I would say 5 years with my other job. If you don't know, I work at a startup and we do legal side of content creation, basically handling the social media for that for so long. So I think for the past 5 years I've been staring at a screen every single day, consuming so much kinds of content that I had to take a break this summer. I basically could not look at another stupid video ever again. I was like at my wit's end. It was just not a good situation and my mental health really, really bad. I was just struggling with comparison, with anxiety, and just this overwhelming feeling of I need a break, I need to breathe. I have not taken a single day off of social media in the past 5 years, and so I needed to, as one does. You need to take time away from your phone, first of all, but if your job is in this too, you just have to prioritize that, and I just never did. I'm always the person who was just pushed through, how to describe it, but I basically was just feeling so overwhelmed with everything and it was so detrimental. And I just realized as I'm going into my 30th year, I'm turning 30 this year, I didn't have any sense of direction. So I really wanted to take a break and be really intentional about staying off social media. And I really found myself having an addiction. And we can get into that as well. But I realized that I was addicted, fully addicted, and still kind of am. And I'm gonna be honest, you guys, I did not fully stay off for the full month. I would go spurts of not looking at my phone and then I would catch myself scrolling, specifically on TikTok, kind of like having to reteach my brain to have a longer attention span and to relinquish this sense of FOMO. You know what I'm saying? Concealer that I'm using is the Tower 28. This is basically a recap of my summer. I went to Miami and then literally turned around 2 days later and went to Spain for a wedding. And I went there for 2 weeks. So I was pretty much gone the whole month of May. And I love traveling, don't get me wrong, but that was a lot. And I liked being booked and busy and stuff, but I think just being out of my routine, I have become such a routine person that it's hard for me to bounce back. It literally took me a month to bounce back from that, and I was sleeping all the time. I was so exhausted. My body just can't hang anymore. So yeah, I went to Spain and I got engaged. My ring. I got engaged, and that was one of the most surreal, best moments of my life ever, and it was just so cool. And Sean did the whole thing where he proposed in Barcelona. There was a sign. You can go watch it on the Barcelona vlog. It's all there. And I was just so shocked, and I was just elated, and it was the best experience ever. And then after that we went to Ibiza for a week, so it just felt like a really special trip. We also got to celebrate our friend's wedding, and it was just like a trip filled with love, and it was just like, it was the best thing ever. I was still working on the trip. I still like vlog and stuff like that, so I didn't really take time off. And we come home from the trip, and 2 days later our kitchen floods. We had turned on the dishwasher after being gone for 2 weeks, and the dishwasher, the hose, something burst, and our whole kitchen floors were flooded. So Dibs bronzer in the shade 2. I'm literally almost out of it. So our kitchen flooded, and we had to completely rip out the entire floors of the kitchen. The damaged cabinets, so all of the lower cabinets, mind you, if you have been on our channel, you know that in late 2023, so literally a year and a half ago, we just renovated this kitchen. So it is a brand new kitchen, you guys, and we weren't able to save any of it. We had to rip out all the bottom cabinets, and we had to get with our insurance, try to cover as much as we could. Our dishwasher had a year warranty, and it failed at a year and a half. You guys, it was the hardest thing this summer, and it just really makes you take for granted having a kitchen. And we had to spend this whole summer up until August 18th. We did not have a kitchen, a working kitchen. We did not have a sink. We did not have a dishwasher. We did not have counters. We did not have flooring in the kitchen area. We had nothing. So we had to go through insurance, and they had to cover all of our meals. We had to literally Uber Eats or get Chick-fil-A, and we couldn't really make anything. We had frozen stuff. We literally had nothing but eating out, and it was awful. If you guys know, I love eating fresh foods. I love produce. I like cooking. I have to eat a certain way, or else I'll crash out and my body will reject me. And that's what we had to do this summer. For the entire summer, from the end of May until August, we did not have a kitchen, and it was so unenjoyable. It was so bad. So we fell into this little recluse energy, and we just didn't do anything. We were trying to not spend as much money, obviously. We had to wait for money to come through for insurance when it came to food. So we were just bound to our house, and the restraints that caused was just like awful. It was awful. If you have a kitchen, if you have a working kitchen, do not take that for granted. I will never take that for granted now. I felt like I couldn't like vlog like normal. I felt like I don't know. I just felt like I wasn't as creative, and I fell into this rut and a spiral of doom scrolling and just trying to, I don't know, just trying to get my mind off of that, and also trying to work. Obviously I have to continue to work. I have to make money, especially in this economy. So it was really tough. I just felt like I had to push through, and then I felt like I couldn't even come home and enjoy my engagement. And I feel like Sean felt the same way. We kind of had to like go into crisis mode as soon as we got back, and our engagement we weren't able to have that like fiance bubble, if you will. We also held off on telling people for a month, not a month, maybe 2 or 3 weeks afterwards, because we were waiting on the pictures and everything. And because of that, it kind of held up all of the other stuff that I was sharing with you guys. Everything was just pushed back, and I felt like I was playing catch up the entire summer. It just fed into that energy that was already there regardless of me not taking a break in years. It just all kind of like came together at a breaking point, and at the end of July I was like, okay, I need to finish posting all of this Spain content finally, and once I post the last picture, I'm taking a break. And I was like, oh wait, I'll only take a week break. The week turned into 2 weeks, 2 weeks turned into a month, and here we are. It's the weekend after Labor Day weekend, and I'm just finally ready to make my way back onto social media slowly but surely. Yeah, I was feeling kind of lost, no direction, and just didn't know, I don't know, what my next steps were, what felt authentic to me. And I just feel like a shift coming as I go into my 30s. I'm turning 30 next month, and I just feel like my life is shifting. By the way, the powder I just use is the Sephora Micro Smooth Powder to set with a powder puff. Let's get into my list of things to talk about. All right. So I mentioned life updates, life changes, but more specifically, I'm turning 30 and I'm feeling the shift in my brain. I have felt this as soon as I turned 28. I feel like my brain started being like, whoa, what's going on? We need to reconfigure things. We need to reevaluate our life and figure out where we want to go from here. And my body has started to change, as like really weirdly changed, like weight gain. My skin has been changing, my bodily functions have been changing, all the things. And I think that that's like me aging. So I've had to face that head on and come to terms with the fact that I'm aging, and that freaks me out a little bit. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't want to age, you guys. Obviously we have to, and I have to like face that, but it has been a wake-up call, kind of like you're not gonna be 20 forever, or in your 20s forever. And it's kind of facing the reality of that. My body is changing, so therefore my lifestyle has had to change a bit. I've had to switch up my workout routine. I quit Pilates for the time being. I still love Pilates, but I realized I was spending so much money on Pilates and it wasn't giving me the body composition that I wanted. So I switched to pretty much exclusively lifting weights at the gym, strength training, and cardio. Good hour-long walk at least, and trying to get my 10K steps in. And yeah, I kind of have that routine down. I also have been, as soon as we got our kitchen back, I'm back into like meal prepping and just eating super healthy things, juicing, all of those things that I couldn't do this summer. So I'm getting back into that routine, but basically shift my entire lifestyle and my workout routines and everything to accommodate my changing body and changing mind. So I have been really into that, especially just kind of like locking in. We have a trip coming up for our 30th that Sean and I are doing, a joint trip, locking in for that. And we just want to be the best and most healthiest version of ourselves for our upcoming wedding, for our trips and everything in general. And when we start trying for kids, you know, we want to be the healthiest, because scientifically research shows that if you are healthy when you conceive, your labor is easier, your pregnancy is easier, and your child is actually healthier. So we have to do that for the sake of our children and for my body. So anyways, so that's basically understanding. I was just trying to understand how to navigate this new me in a way. So I felt like I had to take a step back from social media and all this surrounding noise and opinions and really address that. So that's one thing. I just used the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Luminous Bronzer, and now I'm using the powder blush, the luminizing blush. This is in the shade Diffused Heat. I've been using this for years. This is old, but it's lasted me for years. Okay, the next thing that I was feeling was super just burnt out, creatively stunted, and in a rut, I guess. Just from years of not taking any time off, I just really needed to like take a step back and kind of figure out who I am and what I want to bring to my channel. I think that, not just my channel, but all of my platforms, I just think that there's so much noise out there, and it's just so easy to compare yourself or grab inspiration from someone else, and it's not really things that are coming from your own brain. And I just felt like there was so much bullshit out there that I don't know, I don't even know how to describe it, just like overwhelmed all the time, just bombarded with things. And I felt like I was too easily accessible to other people. I don't know, there was just a lot going on online, and I just was like, okay, I actually don't care about any of this, and it's just all mindless. Like, none of this matters. So I just needed to take a break. I'm using the Tartelette Spark palette. This is just what's in my makeup bag right now. This is what I've been using. So I just like to go for a little wash of color on my lids with the brown shades. And then obviously with the changing of the seasons, everything is kind of slowing down. So I felt like it was a good time to take a break from socials, reset my life. So I've been decluttering. When I'm in a rut, I like to clean out my space. So I have decluttered my closet. I've been reorganizing, moving things around, changing the flow of the house, make healthy meals, juice, all the things that bring me joy. I've found in my life that I'm an extroverted introvert. I am an introvert at heart. I'm a homebody. I love being at home. I like working from home. I am okay with not leaving the house some days. I don't mind that. And I was just constantly guilting myself for being that kind of person. And I just felt like with that outside noise, I felt like I had to be something that I wasn't. Like, I had to be out with people all the time. I had to be constantly doing something, and I've realized that I don't. Like, you really don't have to be doing something all the time, and that it's okay to slow down and have a slow morning and a routine and not be accessible to everyone all the time and say no to things. And I have been saying no for this whole summer, but specifically this past month, I've been saying no to a lot of people. And especially with my fiance, we are both kind of like that personality. We're very intentional with our time, and I just wanted to be even more intentional. Where is this brush I'm looking for? Using this angled brush and the darkest shade in this palette. We just spent this past month, or I spent this past month, kind of like clearing out my space, getting ready for life shifts and bringing in new energy into our space, into our life, and just ready for the changing of seasons. I've also been trying to plan this wedding. People don't talk about this. Planning a wedding is so overwhelming and exhausting. And if you're a bride or having a bride, you know, obviously, but if you aren't yet, it is so overwhelming. I had no idea where to start, especially because it's probably going to be a destination wedding, and the prices, you guys, have been astronomical. I don't know how people can afford fucking weddings. I was getting quoted, I'm not kidding you, $100,000, $120,000 for the venue alone in some places, and I was getting quoted $10K for a wedding planner. I think that is fucking insane. I'm sorry, that's fucking insane. Like, I don't need all that. I just want someone to help me coordinate things, and I don't know. It just seemed like so much. And for what? I mean, for one day, I mean, yes, it's like special and everyone's like, oh yeah, it's worth it. I'm sure it is. I'm sure it feels that way, but financially it just doesn't make the most sense to us, and our budget is way smaller than all of the ceremonies that you see on social media. I feel like we are constantly bombarded with these huge extravagant weddings, and things are just picture perfect and best photos and a videographer and having a content creator at the wedding and hair, makeup. I mean, the florals alone are thousands of dollars. It just is insane. And we have a lot of friends, so we are at least gonna have, like, we have over 100 people, at least like 120, 130 people on our initial list, and that is us being savage and cutting a shit ton of people out. That's basically our lowest that we can go on our guest list. Obviously it's going to be less than that the show for the wedding. Not everyone's going to be able to come, especially with it being international, but it has been, oh my god, so overwhelming, and we haven't even picked a venue yet. I'm gonna be honest, it's been almost, I would say, over 3 months since I got engaged, and we still haven't picked out a venue. Obviously we have some time. We're not getting married until 2027, but it has been a journey, and I hate it. I actually hate planning the wedding. It's just so overwhelming trying to get quotes and everything. So it just made me realize how much money I'm gonna have to spend on this fucking wedding, and I'm like, not okay. Which leads me to my next subject, is that Sean and I originally moved to Georgia to renovate this home, of course, but we also did it so that we could be more financially stable and get out of debt. We weren't in like a lot of debt. We weren't in like the 40s, 50, like, you know, like that. Like, we weren't in that much debt, but we were in debt, in a small amount of debt, and we wanted to get rid of that. Well, you know, with the renovation, it actually costs more. So we had to really like take a look at our finances and kind of like teach ourselves how to be more financially literate. So my family, this is gonna sound so Republican, but my family, my dad, he got the Financial Peace University course from Dave Ramsey. And I have some feelings about Dave Ramsey, some things I don't agree with him, but for the most part, his class really helped us. We took this course as a family, and it just helped us look at money differently and not be so scared of money and not view it with like scarcity mindset, which was really important. So basically we just wanted to pursue this next journey of financial freedom before even spending any money on the wedding, before we make any life changes. Like if we want to move or anything, right now we are paying not a lot in rent, and we are just saving so much money, and we are just really focused on financial freedom right now. So that is a part of our journey. I mean, I'm not even gonna lie to you guys, I feel like a lot of your favorite content creators, not the big ones, like the big ones are making pretty good money or amazing money, life-changing money, but the smaller creators that you're seeing, bitch, we're all in debt. We're all in debt. We have credit card debt, okay, to fund our lifestyles. And I've just felt like, okay, I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to like overspend and live a different lifestyle. Do you know what I'm saying? I feel like my face is a little too shiny today for some reason. So I'm gonna go in with this like lighter powder and dust this all over. Super shiny on my cheeks right now. I just need to tone it down a little bit. Yeah, that helped a lot. So yeah, basically, I mean, like, that's like the tea. A lot of your favorite creators are in debt. We are not making necessarily consistent money doing this. We have spread ourselves thin. We have a bunch of different sources of income, and sometimes this job is just not consistent at all. So that was something I was struggling with as well. And so I kind of was like, okay, I need to take a step back and focus on my actually consistent paying job. And luckily I only have to do that a couple days a week. Like, I'm very lucky with that. But I did need to like take a step back from social media and be like, okay, like, can always come back to it, but focus on what is putting food on the table. It's this job. So, and I feel like as soon as I took a break from that, like as soon as I stepped away, that's when the opportunities started coming in. I was like so like constantly having this anxiety and this fear around like, when's my next paycheck gonna come in? When is my next opportunity gonna come in? When is da 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 da? And it was flooding my mind constantly. It was always a point of contention. I was always thinking about it. And as soon as I stepped away and just relinquished control and just like was like, okay, honestly, like whatever happens, that was when I felt like I had a breakthrough, when I had multiple opportunities come in and things that were, you know, like huge things, one that's gonna pay off my car, those kinds of opportunities. I feel like I just had an epiphany. I'm like, oh my God, I was in such a scarcity mindset. I needed this money. And as soon as I stepped away from that and just gave it to God, I feel like that's when the blessings came through, and it was just like so cool to see. So I highly recommend, if you are constantly thinking about, okay, like, when's my next opportunity? When's this next thing? When's this gonna happen to me? When am I gonna find the man of my dreams? When am I gonna find, you know, all those kinds of things that we go through? Take a step back and just relinquish some control. Really try to just set that aside, and you will see things come in, and those things that are meant for you will come in. And I just think when you take your mind off of those things and stop just overthinking and fixating on things, that's when the blessings come through. So that really helped me as well. And I just think that was also a sign. As soon as those things hit my inbox, I was like, oh my God, things always work out. That's also something I've been working on, is like, you know, I'm a big manifester, and I just found myself over, analyzing, overthinking, it was consuming me. And I had to take a step back, and it actually worked out. Everything is working out. I just highly recommend just take a step back, ground yourself, come back to it, breathe a little bit, slow down a little bit. It's okay. Be present, enjoy the moment. You know, things will always work out how they're meant to. So yeah, I took a break from social media, and I realized I was like fully addicted to it. I was addicted to my phone. I still kind of am. And I just was always kind of like chasing this virality, which I think is so fucking stupid. Now that I say that out loud, it's just like, ew, like you really, that's what you're like living for. And I had to be like self-aware, look at myself in the mirror and be like, is that really what you want? That's your life goal, is to go viral and get followers? No, that's not your life goal. Why are you doing this? I had to take a look at like the why behind why I post on social media, why I do this career, why I do this in the first place. It's because I want to relate to people. I want to connect with people, build a community. I want to like basically be your internet bestie and like, chat with people, and I don't know, just connect with people. That's like the biggest thing. Help you if maybe you have a similar body type to me, you have similar ideals, that kind of thing. Just be a relatable person that you can go to and have this peaceful space that I have built. This really like fun little pocket of, I don't know, just a world that I've built over here on my side of the internet that you can just come to and like put on a video and just watch it and learn something, or maybe something will inspire you. I just think that's so cool, like to have a bunch of little besties on the internet. I think that's like the best part of the internet, and I kind of lost myself in that. So I was also like tying like engagement to my self-worth, and like how many likes am I gonna get, how many shares, like stupid shit, how many comments, no one's commenting on this. Like, who gives a flying fuck? Who gives a fuck? I just started to realize nothing actually matters. And yeah, I just needed to like take a step back and really just get out of that mindset of like constantly looking at my analytics. And it was weird. Like that's weird. Like your life is not a set of numbers. Like it's just so weird to me that I was doing that. And this helped me get out of this helped me focus on my own life and stop comparing myself to others, because they're not me and they'll never be me. So we're just all our biggest critics, and yeah, we just gotta get out of that mindset. Okay, so I'm gonna use the Tarte Tubing Mascara. Obsessed with this mascara. Okay, so the next thing that I wanted to talk about, and I think this kind of like leads into the next topic, which is a soft life. I think I'm meant for a soft life. What's that sound on TikTok? It's like, I just think I wasn't meant to live an uncomfortable life.
I just don't think at this age I'm meant to live an uncomfortable life. I don't have the will.
That's me with like a soft life. I was in that hustle mindset for so long, especially like living in San Diego. The cost of living, you had to make your like grind to make money. I did not come from money. My parents struggled, you know, growing up, and we never really understood money in that way, which obviously, you know, I talked about becoming financially literate. And my parents didn't really have money until like later on in their life. And so yeah, I never learned that. I never had that privilege, and never had, you know, they kind of helped me with college, but I still have student loans and stuff. I basically had to do that myself. I felt like I had to provide for myself. As soon as I got a job, I just felt like I was always providing for myself and always struggling a little bit. I just realized how much of a privilege it is to have that financial support from your family. A lot of the people that I see on social media and stuff, their parents paid for their college. They didn't have any student loans. That's a one-up in life. Like, you are initially off the bat are going to your job and making money and not being in debt. That is such a privilege. So, and that's not the reality for a lot of people, a lot of Americans. So yeah, so I just kind of had to like face that, and because of that, I've always been in this hustle and grind mentality, and always working the hardest I can work, and always trying to be the best, and trying to make the most money, and trying to It's so fucking exhausting, and that's not what I want my life to look like. I want to make enough to get by. I want to live comfortably, and I want to have a soft life. I want to get out of that executive girl boss culture. That is not me. That is not my vibe. I want to sit at home and bake bread and spend time with my kids and go to soccer games and live this soft life. And I don't want to hustle anymore. I just don't want to do that. That's not my vibe anymore. I really like just a softer way of living and more calming energy. And while there is times to work hard and hustle a little bit, I just don't think making that your entire livelihood and your entire personality, that's not healthy. That's really just not healthy, and that's not where I don't want to live there. I don't want to do that. That's not my vibe anymore. So I've kind of had to unlearn that behavior because I have had to hustle so hard in my life. So yeah, life doesn't have to be that hard. Life does not have to be that hard if you don't want it to be. And I think I was making it harder for myself by constantly being like, oh, you're not doing enough, you're not making enough, you're not, like, let's reframe that. You're doing this much stuff today, you got this done, you read a book today. Maybe you didn't go out and work out, but you read a book today. You fed your brain. Like, reframing everything to be more positive instead of like living a life in kind of like shame if I'm not doing enough. Life is meant to be enjoyed. It's meant to be present. You're meant to enjoy the little things in life, and you don't have to have a hard life. Just because you work harder doesn't mean that your life is any more valuable than someone who doesn't work as hard. And I don't want to work hard anymore. I don't want to work, there's a time and a place to work hard, and I just don't want to be constantly pushing myself. I just want to sit back and enjoy life a little bit more. The small moments, the soft life, the slow life. That's my vibe. Hot take. You don't have to be a girl boss to be successful, and you don't need to constantly be doing something to be considered successful. Also, to add on to that, recently we had a loss in the family. Actually, a couple days ago, we just got back from a funeral for a death in the family, and it was, I don't want to cry. I don't want to cry, you guys. Hold on. I don't want to cry because I've cried the past week, basically. It was a lot. It was a lot. I'm using the Dibs setting spray, by the way. It was a lot, and it really put things into perspective. Family is everything. That's, I think, the way I wanted to shift going into my 30s. Family is everything. Nothing else matters besides your family. Those are gonna be the people that are there for you in the end, or there with you in the end. So I don't want to cry. I really don't. Okay, hold on, let me spray my face. I love this stuff, by the way. It makes you so glowy. The things that you believe in are everything. So I think that I really, especially with this industry, it's really hard for me to live outside of the bubble that is me. Everything's about me. My content's about me. My livelihood is now about me. Everything is about me, and I had to really try to escape that for a bit. I just felt like I was kind of like a product that I'm constantly promoting, and it got exhausting. And I really wanted to try to focus on things that are beyond me. My family, my community, my faith. Those things that are not so self-centered and egocentric. I wanted to revisit those and kind of like shift my mindset to be more about that. But yeah, focusing on things that are beyond me and my little bubble, just trying to get out of that like me mindset. And I feel like I've been working really hard on that, and that's been really like helpful with this whole process. It's almost and I've talked about this kind of before on my channel, it's almost an ego death or an identity death. How do I even say it? I'm revisiting who I am and what my life purpose is and what does this new era of me mean. Yeah, basically I have been facing my Saturn's return. That happens, it's supposed to happen like in your late 20s, early 30s is kind of when your whole identity and mindset start to shift into true adulthood. And I have definitely been going through that. As soon as I hit 28, I just constantly have been questioning myself, questioning my life, questioning my choices, and what is my life purpose. and what do I want to do. How am I supposed to sharpen this? The fuck? Kind of visiting what I want to do with my life and what fulfills me, and the things that I thought fulfilled me no longer do, and just really kind of, yeah, revisiting what I want to do with my life and what I want the next 10 years to look like, and being intentional. Being intentional is the biggest thing that I have thought throughout this whole process, is just trying to be the best version of myself and basically use my time wisely. Be intentional about the people that I'm around. Be intentional about the things that I do, the things that I put my energy towards. Be intentional about filling my cup and doing things, having routines, and a lifestyle that fulfills me and makes me feel and be the best version of myself. And I found that the things that I was maybe doing before weren't necessarily those things. So that said, I feel like there's gonna be a shift in my content coming up. While I do love my fashion hauls, I think I want to shift a little bit more away from that. I love fashion still, and I love styling clothes, and I love trying on new things, but I do want to shift more into lifestyle vlogs, continuing to do those. I already vlog, but maybe just putting more energy into that, those things that make me happy. I love personally consuming vlogs, daily vlogs, weekly vlogs, lifestyle content, and because I enjoy consuming that so much, I also want to put energy into creating that. I also want to stop consuming as much and create more. I want to put my energy intentionally into the things that I produce and put out into the world, and I don't want to do just mindless things and just things that are maybe gonna make me go viral, or I really want to focus on building a community, and I feel like YouTube is the best place for that. So I really, in this era of my life, want to shift more into YouTube and come back like super strong and put out as many videos as I can. I've been kind of like taking a step back from short form, like TikTok, Reels, those kinds of things. I just feel like that takes a lot of energy to do, and constantly coming up with new and exciting and like innovative ideas, and that's just not how my brain works. That's a lot of pressure. I don't necessarily want to focus on that. I think I still want to do like fashion styles content on my Instagram, but I also kind of want to shift more into like home decor and more lifestyle things, maybe like day in the life vlogs and stuff like that. Come with me to the barn, doing things that are calm and cozy and a soft life, and not necessarily just fashion all the time, because also in the economy, people aren't buying clothes right now anyways. More into beauty and get back into makeup. I think that's like a good creative outlet for me, and yeah, just sharing my new hobbies, a slower paced life, and calming energy, things that just feed my soul. And that's where a lot of my content is going to be on YouTube. Oh, by the way, my lip combo, in case you care, is the ColourPop Lippy Pencil in the shade BFF, and Summer Fridays, what is this? Dream Lip Oil in Pink Cloud. I'm almost out of this because it's so good. I love pink. Also, I'm going to be sharing wedding planning content. I definitely want to share that whole process. I'm really excited about that. I just haven't been in the mindset to be able to do that, and I think taking a step back, being very intentional about what I share, not sharing everything, having some things close to my heart, and not oversharing is exactly like where I want to be. I kind of want to be kind of in the middle there. I want you to see my life, but I also want to keep some things to myself, and just be very intentional about where things go for the foreseeable future. Can't wait to share like life updates with you guys. We don't plan on being in Georgia forever, so there may be like moving content coming up in the next couple of years. We obviously have the wedding, we have things that we want to do business wise. I want to share all those things with you guys along the way, and I just think YouTube is the best place to do that, especially because I don't have to be super careful about what I'm cutting out and trying to fit things into less than 10 minutes, and it has to be under a minute for reels and stuff like that. It's hard to filter my life in that way, and that's why I love YouTube so much, because I can just sit here and yap for an hour. Y'all will like sit and listen. That's why I just love YouTube. It's just a little bit more relatable and fun, and you just get a bigger glimpse into my life. Anyways, I'm done yapping. Did my makeup. This is my makeup look that I've been doing recently. if it would focus, that'd be great. Yeah, I pretty much is like my go-to makeup look. I actually am gonna add a little bit more blush because I feel like it didn't come through as much. Where is it? Where is it? Just a little touch of blush. I'm a blush hoe. So anyways, I just wanted to kind of share those life updates and where I've been and where my mind has been at. I'm a thought daughter. I'm the eldest daughter, so I'm like, I think that's a combination, and I have ADHD, so that's like a starter pack for an overthinker and overshare and perfectionist, all wrapped in one. And I'm like really trying to, yeah, just be more intentional about what I share, and moving forward, that's what you guys can expect from me. And I thank you guys so much for being here throughout the years. We just hit 5K subscribers, which is crazy, and that happened while I was taking a break, so love to see it. Getting out of that scarcity mindset and things happen for you. Just relinquishing control, giving it to God, and stop caring so much. So anyways, that's pretty much where I've been, what I've been doing, and thank you guys so much for sticking around and being here throughout this whole journey. I am so excited for my 30s. I just think it's going to be the best time of my life, basically my 20s, but with money and a better sound mind. So yeah, I'm really excited to where this journey is going to take us, and the things and opportunities that are going to come in the next decade of life, and the next like stages of life. I'm so excited. So many things are going to be happening soon, like marriage, kids, moving, home buying, all these cool things that I'm so excited for. I can't wait. I'm just so grateful for this life, and I'm grateful for y'all. So thank you so much for watching. Thanks for sticking around while I yap about life. I will see you guys in my next upcoming videos. Bye.